Hello and welcome to Diegetic Advancement. My name's Riley, and today I've got a random feat for you, which is a play on words of the Diegetic Advancement name, just for random topics that I will kind of be discussing, as opposed to the main content, which doesn't really have a name, but that'll be talking about kind of gaming concepts that are pertinent to my campaign on world building and stuff. So today I just wanted to talk about. So I'm going through and building out this West Marches game, and I've got a map drawn, and that's kind of not a secret map. I'll try and maybe link that in the show notes. It's not secret to the players. It really at this stage it is just shows the terrain, and I've drawn a square grid. One, because I've got square gridded paper that I do all my drawing in. So do sketches and dungeon maps mainly, but that makes it very easy to draw a grid, and I'm not going to draw a hex because I'm bound to get something wrong and I don't want to work out the math. And one of the counterpoints to squares, I guess, is the 1.5 times diagonal movement. I don't see that as an issue because if you've got a flat topped hex, and your players say they want to go west, you like what do you do? Do you say no, you can't go west, you can either go north or southwest? Or do you just randomly determine the terrain type along that line, that liminal space between hexes? Or do you skip that column and go, and I think it is actually 1.5 times the distance to the kind of 2 columns over to the west, which is exactly the same as the diagonal movement. Now, okay, fair enough. For the most part, though, players aren't moving in straight lines. They're exploring a wilderness. They've got terrain and obstacles that they're dealing with, and it's all abstracted, right? So I don't really care if it kind of bothers you. Make it a 5-mile square and charge them 6 miles for movement, and that's fine. Obviously, I've kind of abstracted that as if you're exploring the wilderness. If you're following a road, get a ruler out and measure the road if you'd like, or a river, and charge them that much movement instead of abstracting it. Because, anyway, if anyone's got strong opinions on square versus hex, for overland or for dungeons, I suppose, then call in, send me your thoughts. But the main thing I actually wanted to talk about was putting together first level hooks and adventures. I've got a mega dungeon. It's not really going to be a mega dungeon, like a tentpole dungeon that I'm putting a few squares away from the main village, and it's actually on. Well, you can kind of follow a river there, or at least most of the way. So it should be fairly easy for the players to get to, even though it's a few squares away, and at first level, traveling through the wilderness might be a bad idea. So that's kind of easy. I've stuck to overland, and I'm starting to draw the first, I think, 2, maybe 3 levels, and starting to stock that. So that's always an option for the players, but I kind of want some smaller stuff, and I'm planning these on being like 2-hour sessions because I just don't have the time to do more. So I need to build those out, and I really don't know what to do other than, hey, chuck a cave here and a small ruin there, and just make up random dungeon locations, and kind of just stock them in the first kind of square away from the safe space, because I don't want the players to explore the wilderness too much in that first level. One, if they're doing that, then I need to kind of stock a lot more of the wilderness. I'd rather just start playing with a couple of things and then stock as they begin to express what they want to do and what they want to explore. But yeah, I think I might do that. One thing I did think of is rolling a dice, especially because I've got square grids. I can look if the die is it's a d6. If they've got pips on them, I can like actually place location. So if you roll a d6 and you get the 1, then there's a location in the center of the hex. If you roll a 5, then you've got 1 in the center and then 4 in each corner, or something like that. Now I can kind of spatially place these things as well. Again, not that I think that matters terribly much, but potentially for randomly stumbling upon things, it's useful to have a rough idea of where things are located. Anyway, that's all I've got. If you've got thoughts, please call in, let me know. Bye for now.